The field hockey team takes on Montclair State in the NJAC Championship Tournament.
And the football team rolls past Southern Virginia.
Plus more NJAC Tournament updates than you can imagine, starting right about now.
Welcome everyone to Home of Prof Sports All Access. I'm Maria Brasco, and with my partner in crime, Chris Sharnagle, and apparently he is recovered from his candy coma.
Yes, Maria, I am fully recovered from the candy coma. Apparently there is too much Reese's Peanut Butter Cups you can eat, but that is another story for another time, so let's get the show running.
The Rowan University's men's cross-country team finished second at the NJAC Championships on Saturday, November 1st. Over the 8K course, senior John Sunig won best individual time with a time of 25 minutes and 30 seconds. He was first out of 101 runners. Sophomore Zach Helm took 15th place with a time of 27 minutes and 4 seconds, while senior Timmy Reardon was 17th with a time of 27 minutes and 9 seconds. Their next race will be on November 15th for the NCAA Atlantic Regional Championship.
On Saturday, November 1st, the Rowan field hockey team took on NJAC opponent TCNJ at home in their season finale. Going into the game, TCNJ was 6-0 in conference play, while Rowan was 5-1. It was a well-played game, but goals by Lexi Smith in the 5th minute and Lindsay Hatch in the 55th minute were too much for Rowan to handle as Rowan fell to TCNJ 2-0. TCNJ goalie Kelly Shallup earned the shutout. Rowan will continue on to the NJAC Championship Tournament.
The Profs hosted Montclair State Redhawks in the semifinals to the NJAC Championship Tournament this past Wednesday. The game was an instant classic as the Profs earned a huge comeback victory 3-2. The Redhawks were up 2-0 early in the first half. Forwards Caitlin Struss and Danielle Butrico scored for Montclair State. The Profs would answer back as Prof forward Kelly Campbell would score twice, the first at the 26-29 mark and the second 8 seconds before the end of the period. Forward Sam Brown put a pass from Campbell in the back of the cage at 39:45, which would seal the victory for the Profs. They move on to face the number 1 seed in the NJAC tournament, TCNJ, Saturday, November 8th at 1 p.m. in Ewing, New Jersey.
The Rowan men's swimming and diving team earned their 3rd straight win to start the season, defeating Misericordia University 165-92 in Dallas, PA on November 1st. Out of 12 individual events, the Profs were able to win 8. Tyler Coe took first in the 100 breaststroke, while Colin Fisher won the 200 freestyle, and Stephen Busby had a winning time of 10:16:18 in the 1000 freestyle. John Shullum placed first in the 200 butterfly, and Kyle Surratt won the 50 freestyle. The Profs also won the 400 medley and 400 freestyle relays, finishing in 3:38:53. The medley team was comprised of Eric Emerson, Coe, Jesse Novak, and Shullum. The freestyle team of John Tepper, Connor Buck, Luke Wister, and Novak took first in 3:19:48.
The Rowan's men's swimming and diving team remained unbeaten so far this season as they dominated William Patterson on Wednesday night, winning by a final score of 163-74. It was both teams' first conference bout. The Profs swept all 11 individual events from the Pioneers on the evening, as well as both team relay races. Patrick Myers won both the 100 butterfly and the 500 freestyle, while also being a part of the winning 200 medley relay team. John Morris won the 1 and 3 meter diving. Next up, Rowan travels to St. Francis College this Saturday for a 1 p.m. match.
In the team's first round matchup of the New Jersey Athletic Conference Championship Tournament, number 4 seed Rowan women's soccer blanked 5th seeded Keene University 1-0. Rowan hosted a playoff on November 2nd, which was scheduled from the previous day. The two teams were deadlocked through 45 minutes, but the Profs dominated in shots 12-1. Then at the 63-38 mark, the Profs got a lift from forward Erica Sewell, who scored from just inside the box on an assist from midfielder Melissa Kelly. The eventual game-winning goal was Sewell's team-leading 15th of the season and was one of 7 shots on goal for her in the game. Profs goalkeeper Carly Trevino did not have to make a save against the Cougars. With the win, the Profs advanced to the semifinals at first-seeded Montclair State University.
The second round will be much different as Rowan would fall 1-0 to Montclair State. This game would be dominated by the Redhawks as they would outshoot the Profs 21-7. Goalie Carly Trevino would keep Rowan in this game, stopping 12 of the 13 shots on goal she faced. It was the offense that held the Profs back, mustering just 2 shots on Montclair State's net. The only goal in this game would come with 3 minutes left in the first half. Rowan committed a foul on Red Hawk midfielder Melissa Coaster and gave her a penalty shot opportunity. She converted this shot to give Montclair State the 1-0 lead. With the win, Montclair State advances to the NJAC tournament finals. They will face off against the College of New Jersey. For Rowan, this loss will end their season.
The Rowan University women's ice hockey team suffered their first loss of the season to division rival North Jersey on November 2nd. The Phoenix controlled the offense for most of this game. In the first 2 periods, North Jersey outshot Rowan 31-10 and scored 4 goals. The problem for Rowan was converting on the power play. They were 0 for 4 on power play opportunities. The leading scorer was Lisa Ellis for the Phoenix in points with 2, earning herself 1 goal and 1 assist. Next up for Rowan is a weekend doubleheader against American University and the University of Pennsylvania.
The Southern Virginia University Knights came to Glassboro trying to earn an upset victory over the Profs. The Profs had other plans as they won the game 25-6. The Profs' offense was not moving the ball effectively as they would only gain 201 total yards on the day. Halfbacks Whit Marsland and Hassim Rover combined for 103 yards rushing, and quarterback Bill McCarty went 5 of the 10 for 98 yards and 1 touchdown through the air. The Profs' defense forced 3 turnovers as defensive backs Eddie Davis, Bobby Barberi, and linebacker Darren Dungy intercepted passes, with Barberi and Dungy taking it in the end zone for 6. The Profs hosted their last home game of the season against Keene University on November 8th at 1 p.m.
It is time once again to look into the world of pro sports with our own Pete Ignorato for this week's edition of Pro Talk.
All right, thanks very much, Chris. For this week of Pro Sports Talk, we'll touch upon some significant changes coming to the game of baseball and the importance of a backup quarterback in the NFL. However, we begin with the college ranks. During election week, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett said that the late Joe Paterno probably should not have been fired from Penn State after the 2011 allegations. Sandusky was charged in a sex abuse scandal along with Joe Paterno, saying, quote, "They probably shouldn't have fired him. They probably should have suspended him. He probably should have been given the last 3 games on the sideline," end quote. Corbett was a member of Penn State's Board of Trustees who moved to fire Paterno, who died less than 3 months after his dismissal. Shifting gears to the NBA, the return of LeBron James has not been perfect, and that has caught the attention of many Cavalier fans across Ohio. Through their first 4 games, the Cavs posted a record of 1-3. Even with 78 games remaining, King LeBron still felt it was necessary to address the fans. James took a page out of the book of Green Bay Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers when he asked the fans to relax. With such high expectations for Cleveland in the 2014-2015 season, there seems to be little patience. Fans want success right away, but it doesn't always work like that. The Cavs will be good, but they just need some time to gel. Now moving towards the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles have lost quarterback Nick Foles for potentially the remainder of the season. Foles had started the previous 18 games heading into Week 10, but thanks to a fractured clavicle, backup quarterback Mark Sanchez will be forced to take snaps under center. This leads me to this point. For some clubs, if an injury takes place on their starting quarterback, the season is basically over. Now, Eagles head coach Chip Kelly made sure that wasn't the case as he signed a veteran who can step in right away. It's very important to have an effective backup quarterback in the NFL. And while Sanchez might be called butt fumble, we are better off with him than Dallas is with Brandon Weeden when Tony Romo breaks his back again. And lastly, former left-handed pitcher Brad Halsey has died at the age of 33. Halsey was found dead near his hometown in Texas in a recent recreational climbing accident. The cause of his death is still under investigation. Halsey pitched 3 seasons in the majors for New York, Arizona, and Oakland. His most memorable moment may have came in 2006 when he was pitching for Oakland. Halsey was the pitcher who gave up Barry Bonds' 714th home run. Halsey was drafted by the Yankees in the 8th round of the 2002 draft. Now that is it for this week in pro sports. When we come back, Chris and Maria will have more updates, but right after the break, Sandra Hill sits down with members of the field hockey team. So stay tuned for more All Access.